Bhutan, a small country situated between India and China, came out of its self-imposed isolation in the 1960s. While still retaining its rich cultural heritage, it has fast found its place in the modern world. Today, Bhutan tries to balance tradition and cultural values with sustainable development and modernization. But it also grapples with global issues of rural-urban migration, overpopulation in the urban areas, and unemployment. Read Global, which stands for Rural Education and Development, is guided with the vision that reading, literacy, and other educational activities can empower and inspire individuals and communities, and in turn address some of these key issues. With centers already established in India and Nepal, READ now brings its unique development model to Bhutan. READ Bhutan helps build, stock, and sustain public libraries in different communities. READ's unique model not only combines community and educational development, but also enterprise and economic development. Along with the library, READ also provides seed money to start a viable business in the same community. The business utilizes local skills and resources, and the profit generated from the business is used to sustain the library. Through ongoing outreach programs, READ Bhutan approaches communities around the country and presents their model. In public meetings, residents from different walks of life, including farmers, civil servants, teachers, entrepreneurs, and elected leaders, are encouraged to learn more about READ's vision. For some in Bhutan, a public library itself is a new concept. READ's development model is not implemented as a handout. They do not identify communities for a public library and then implement their project.
How soon and how quickly it will happen is in the hands of the people, in the hands of the community members like yourself.
First, the community, recognizing the potential of a public library, must respond and self-initiate the project.
On behalf of my place, this is known as Jumegyo, and these are all LMC members, library committee members we have elected.
Interested members of a community must form a committee and draft their own proposal for a public library and a business venture. Only after the community has shown dedicated interest in the project and proven their commitment does READ mobilize the funds and the technical support. Here in Ura, a rural area in central Bhutan, the community has successfully come forward. They will be the first community in Bhutan to collaborate with READ and own a public library. In order to give a sense of ownership and increased involvement, READ requires that 10 to 15% of the initial budget comes from the community themselves. Their contribution can be in cash or kind. In Ura, the community has offered the structure for the library. Their approved business venture will be the packaging of buckwheat, a special grain grown only in the region with high market potential. In this way, the READ project ensures that the community themselves chooses how to capitalize on their own local skills and resources. As committee members work on a voluntary basis, it is not the business venture which has motivated them, but the potential of a public library and its offerings for the villagers. In a rural area like Ura, most of the older generation, and especially the women, cannot read or write. By providing free access to books and knowledge, the library will encourage literacy and alternative education.
My mother she's so curious to learn Dzongkha. When I give a library book to her, she will be very happy.
The library will not only be stocked with English and Dzongkha literature, but with religious texts and other reference materials of particular interest to the villagers.
우리 이디수 나도로 양진냐 기대 함디수 저 유병 대회들 때로 나 롭전 나옴비 기대 바게 진가 진짜 롭지 미진물 안수면디 디나마 미디에 강안에 소진대로 안좀 함이 저 미술관이 펜동 수니.
All Reed's libraries are also to be resource centers for the village, where they will have computers, educational materials, workshops and trainings, and even health services when needed. The physical structure of the resource center will also serve as a model for the community, whether renovating a structure for a resource center or building a new one. Reed tries to make all the centers eco-friendly and green. In this effort, they collaborate with international and local expertise and knowledge to inspire the communities. As the library building in Ura is ongoing renovation to be inaugurated in May 2010, villagers can look forward to more than a library, but a new center of change and progress. Ura represents many villages and areas around the country in need of programs and developments which make their own communities viable places to live and learn. In Gyelephu, a district in the south of Bhutan, the Library Committee is actively working on their proposal for a Reed project. Though still in the planning stages and identifying potential land and buildings, they know one thing for sure, that they want to encourage a new reading culture in their community.
We have a very poor reading culture in the country, and it's got even worse after the coming of the televisions, and we see the direct impact of that, especially among the younger generation. So I thought this would be a good opportunity. I feel that reading is education, and education is freedom.
The lack of reading habit among our people could be because there was no facilities before.
The Library Committee in Gyelephu wants to facilitate the yet unknown joy and power of reading for their youth.
I think reading is so personal and powerful, and we don't have this in our culture, and it's empowerment, it's giving so much confidence, and our youth just don't have it. And I think Read Bhutan comes at the right time to the right generation.
The reason why our students are getting into drugs and getting into this antisocial activities is they don't have the avenue to take or to use their energy. When Read comes, they'll have various opportunities.
It is not only the library which will serve the community in Gyelephu. The committee here has also decided to make their business venture beneficial to the community. They have proposed a public transport service.
Gyelephu is an upcoming city whereby we don't have a city bus services so far. It's a very hot place, and we get a lot of rains and sunshine, and you see a lot of people walking by on the streets without anything. People, those who come from the lower income strata, who can't afford a taxi ride or something. So we are basically trying to cater to the needs of those people. We are using library as a role model for all-round development in the community, developments like entrepreneurship or reading and literacy. I definitely want a Gyelephu library to, in general, be a platform for a change, for a positive change in the society.
Actually, this is perfect for a library.
We can have a double story here.
Gyelephu is not the only community hoping for a Reed Resource Center in the near future. There are currently 4 library committees around Bhutan working on their proposals, collaborating with their communities, and envisioning something different for their villages and small towns. All the participating communities are aligned with Reed's underlining vision that reading can be the door to knowledge, empowerment, inspiration, and change.